channel. I'm David and welcome to the kitchen. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Hope you're enjoying yourself as we go through the adventures of feeding families. It's a weekday as usual. I don't really feel like cooking today, and I was racking my brain on my way home as to what I wanted to cook. And yeah, every day I don't feel like cooking. Yeah, I don't. So I said I want to do something quick and easy and also delicious, and this time I'll bring a little bit of fun into the equation. We're gonna make some pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? I don't know, everybody in my family likes pizza. We love pizza. Usually we have like Friday nights we don't cook, so it'll be like a pizza night or Chinese food or something like that. It's Thursday, but it's close enough, so we can get some pizza. We can get some pizza done today. So I went to the to my local pizzeria, and they sold me pizza dough for about $3. Now this is gonna be better than the like the pop can puff pastry type pizza, even though that's really good in a pinch, but it still has that kind of biscuit or like the croissant kind of taste in the background, so it's not exactly like pizza, but I mean in a pinch is great. But I mean, what's better to make pizza than actual pizza dough? So this is all done. It's pre-risen and everything, so it's all pillowy and full of air and everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to spread this pizza out onto the sheet pan and try to make it as even as possible. And then we got some interest. What the deuce? My camera's like doing like this, so I'm pretty sure that looks interesting. Yeah, so I wasn't really watching, so I don't know how much of that was caught. So we're making pizza tonight, and I have this store-bought pizza dough from the pizzeria. So I'm just gonna use the sheet pan as our surface. I'm gonna spread the pizza out, and then we're gonna get the toppings. This is pizza's quick, so this is a great thing to make during the week. And you can choose your different toppings, whether you have meat, meatless, just cheese, whatever you and your family enjoy. First thing I'm gonna do is just get a little bit of flour spread out onto the sheet pan. I guess that'll make it a little bit easier to work with, and it probably won't stick as much. Get this sleeves out of the way. Probably should have changed my shirt, but hey. So we got some flour down, and I'll just move it around a little bit. Oops. Gonna make mess when you're working with flour. So powdery and everything. Oh, this thing feels so great. This is better than any dough I've ever tried to make, because it's like all pillowy and fluffy. It's nice. So this, it has a lot of air inside. So this will be easy to stretch out. So watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get it all longer. Let me see if I can do. Let's see if I can do what they do on the pizzeria. Oh, whoa! Oh, I'm gonna tear my shit. I'm gonna tear it. I tore it already. All right, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So guess what? I'll let gravity do the work, right? And look like a shirt. This is my size, extra large. All right, I let gravity do the work, and that looks good right there. So let's go to the side and let's let it work this way. You see that hole right there? I gotta get rid of it. Okay. All right, so that was pretty easy. I'm gonna lap it over the edge of this pan just to make my life a little bit easier, right? And then this part where I screwed up, I'm gonna pinch it and push it back in and hope that it closes the hole, the breach. Yeah, I made a little hole right there too. So I'm just gonna try to stretch this thing like I'm just gonna stretch it. I'm cheating a little bit. I'm just gonna stretch it over. I'm not no pizzaiolo. Come on, work with me. If I give it a little this way. All right, I've got it. Come on. Don't do that. Come on, don't do that. This thing is not as easy as it looks. All right, because it's a lot over here, and there's like ones that shrink over here. Look at this side, it's so nice. Why can't you be like your brother? All right, I think this is the best it's gonna get. It's hitting, there's a little hole right here. So it's hitting. Come on, fam. What's up with that? Come on. Don't do your boy like this. Don't do your boy like this. Come on. This side is giving me trouble right here. Right over here. This guy. Who? This guy over here? Yeah. This guy. Just wants to tear. All right. I got the hole fixed. It's a little thin right here, so I'm just gonna be super careful with that side right there. Right here, it's a little. You can see the sheet pan a little bit. All right, so our pizza is stretched out. It's hitting the corners, and I think that part is important. Now I'm gonna hit this with just a bit of olive oil. Keep everything nice and moist. Probably use a brush for this, but my hands are super clean and I was already all up in this, right? So a little olive oil. Get around the edges of your pan. You want to get in the little space between the dough and the pan just to decrease the chance of sticking. Oil does a good job of lubricating. Okay, so yeah, so we got a little shiny surface here. And I'm gonna stick this in the oven at it's at 350 now, supposed to be up to 450. So I'm just gonna stick this in the oven for a few minutes. We're gonna par cook the pizza just for a few minutes, and then so you don't put the toppings on and then you have to wait for the toppings to get to a certain temperature, and then the dough's not right. So you par cook this a little bit. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven for a few minutes to get started. Tell you guys I'm not so secret. I love garlic. Guilty. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get a few, when I say a few, I mean 10 to 12 cloves of garlic in this pan. And I'm gonna kind of slow roast them a little bit. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil. I don't wanna fry this on high heat or anything. What I'm gonna do is put this on a low flame and cover it up. When you roast garlic for a long time, if I had the time, I would do it in the oven, put it in a little packet of foil. You can do the whole garlic in the paper and everything, just whole. You put a little olive oil, you put it in a packet of foil. And then you just slow roast it for 25 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so. And then when you're ready, you pop those cloves out and they get soft, and garlic takes on a different flavor when you roast it like that. It gets this sweet, delicious flavor. It doesn't have that sharp, garlicky, acrid flavor. It gets very sweet and very delicious, creamy. So that's very good with a lot of stuff, that roasted garlic. So I'm gonna try to create that type of feel with this garlic here. So I'm just gonna put this on a very low flame, and I'm gonna cover it up, and hopefully our roasted garlic theme comes together. I'm gonna use that to top the pizza. So what I did here was just get some foil and just cover over the garlic. That'll keep all of the moisture inside, keep all of the oil inside, and then at this low temperature, it'll kind of roast in the pan. I could have covered it, but I think that's gonna make too much steam, like in that whole bubble that's under the cover. So I'm just gonna Cover it down with a little bit of foil here, and we're just gonna try to slow roast this garlic. It's been about 9-10 minutes, and look at how it's all bubbled up. That look nice. This is your pre-cook, and you got that little bubble. I love the bubble on the crust. I got it before it got away from me too bubbly or too done, because then you won't be able to. If it gets too hard on the surface here, you're gonna have a problem with your toppings. That little hole seemed to have persisted, so there's still a hole back there. It tucked itself underneath the corner right over here. So this is good. This is good. So my garlic is roasting. I'm just gonna let this cool down just a tiny bit so I can start doing the toppings. I don't want to put everything on the hot pizza, and then moving right along. All right, so getting ready to top our pizza now. I wanted to give the garlic a chance to catch up, because I'm probably going to be able to put that on when we're all done. So for now, I'm just going to get the toppings going on the pizza. This is an interesting pizza I'm trying to build. I had a little concept in my head, so I'm just getting it out, working it out today, making this for the first time. So I've got some store-bought pesto. So I'm going to use this. This is going to be a no tomato sauce pizza. So I'm going to use pesto as my sauce here. And you know, pesto is like olive oil and basil and cheese, Parmesan cheese. It has, traditionally it has pine nuts, but a lot of the commercially produced pestos do not contain pine nuts. I'm cool with that because my daughter is allergic, so I don't need any pine nuts in my life. I was very happy to find that they didn't have any in a lot of the pestos that I've seen in the store. So I'm just gonna dot the pizza with this all over, so that, you know, every bite you have a little pesto. I'm going to try to stay away from the crust, from the edges. All right, get as much of this out as possible. I think we got it. Okay. Give it a little bit of a spread. That's better. Get into all the little spaces that you missed. And pesto has a nice, you know, it's oily and slick. Has a nice way to spread. So you can move it around like so. All right, that's looking good. All right, cool. Next thing I'm gonna do is dot this with some ricotta cheese. And I'm just gonna take a few pieces. Yeah. Ooh, this one is stiff. Maybe I should warm it up a little bit in the microwave. But I'll just pop some off. Punctuate this with some nice pieces of ricotta. Ricotta, I don't know. We pronounce stuff totally different than they do in Italy and in Italian homes. I was just getting schooled the other day about prosciutto and gabagool, capicola. No, gabagool. I was like, God bless you. Shout out to all my multicultural friends. Okay, that was nice. And it'll melt and spread a bit. We'll just finish this damn thing, huh? How about that? We'll just finish it. Any spaces? Pan right there. And the last bit right here in this corner. So when this, I'll break this up a little bit. Once this hits the oven, the cheese, it's cheese, so it's gonna melt a bit and it's gonna spread. So you'll have more coverage. I don't feel like spreading this all around. I kind of want to have some little blank spaces. Yeah, so I want to have an interesting type of pizza. We're gonna keep developing different flavors on this thing. So I'm gonna top with also some arugula. This is gonna bring a whole nother dimension of flavor to this pizza. So I'm just gonna get some arugula and wilt it a little bit. And any leafy greens like these, like spinach, arugula, like you saw on the dandelion green show. This happens very quickly, and they wilt down to almost nothing. So I just want to be able to dot the pizza with another texture and another flavor. So just adding a little bit of salt. We have a lot of cheese going on here, so we don't need a ton of salt in anything. A little bit of pepper, just to keep things interesting, seasoned. I'm gonna add a little bit of crushed red pepper. As my friend Lydia, one of my other mentors, says, pepperoncini. A little pepperoncini. Gonna add that. Bump up our flavor a bit. A little bit more oil for this. And just gonna toss this a little bit and wait for it to wilt slightly, not so that it gets all sticky and gummy and clumpy together. I'm just gonna wait for it to, you're gonna watch it go from this bright green to a dark green as it starts to release its liquid with the heat, and it starts to wilt down. It's gonna shrink down a little bit, get smaller, and cook. So let's watch that for a couple minutes. Just when I start to see it change texture, it's getting all glossy and it's getting darker green. And I have enough here that I can dot around the pizza, you know, dodge in between those pieces of ricotta and stuff like that, just to, you know, to give another accent to the pizza, another layer of flavor. Okay, so we've got our arugula. It's all nice and wilty. So all I'll do is just distribute that all around. You see, I didn't let it break down all the way. It's still recognizable as a leaf. It's not like mushy. You know when you saute spinach and it gets all clumped together and you don't know what it is, it's just all green. I don't really like my greens to that level of wilt or mush. So I like to see, you know, the anatomy of the leaf stem. It has still has more texture to it that way than when it's completely wilted. I think, do you see any spots that I missed? Alright. Yeah. So everybody get a bite, and everybody get a nice, happy piece of pizza. We'll get rid of the excess oil, just like that. All right, so we've got one set of cheese on there, the ricotta. So you already know, can't be pizza without cheese. I don't care. That's just some kind of bread or something like that. Gotta have cheese. So the original pizza cheese, I got some mozzarella. This is pre-shredded. You know, it's a weekday. I ain't got time to be shredding mozzarella. So this is easy, squeezy, lemon peasy. I'm just gonna get a nice, even distribution of mozz. Mozz. Oh, that was the other one that that they were telling me about too. Mozz. Mozzarella. Mozzarella. Oh, mozzarella. It's so different. Mozzarella. No, it's mozz. Love it. All right. Get all that mozz all over the mozz place. We got mozzarella. Got the mozzarella. Mozz. And now we got Parmesan. I don't know how to say that one. Parmigiano. Parmigiano. We got Parmigiano. And this is a drier, hard cheese. So it has a different texture. And it's very sharp and salty. Awesome cheese. I love it. With all my Italian favorites. Parmigiano Reggiano. This is Borden brand, so it's probably not Reggiano. It's probably Americano. All right, so we got a fear of. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Why am I gonna play myself like that? I'm just gonna cheese it up. Right? So we got all this lovely cheese on here. We got all the arugula. We've got our pesto. We got our ricotta. So now for the meat. So I'm gonna butcher this one too. This is prosciutto. Prosciutto. That's what I call it. Then they say prosciutto, something like that. So this is a cured, kind of like a deli meat, like a cured ham. And I'm just gonna drop a few ribbons. I'm gonna tear it and drop a few ribbons of prosciutto all over this side of the pizza. I'm gonna save a quadrant over here for one child who doesn't eat meat. Poor thing. He's lost his way. Anyway, shout out to the vegetarians. So I'm gonna just dot this with some prosciutto, and I will be right back before we stick this bad boy in the oven. All right, this is looking good. I've saved my quadrant over here of meatlessness. You know what? I'll save about a third, right? Yeah, so this is looking pretty good. We've got a good coverage of prosciutto. It's one package. I got two, but I don't think I'm gonna need it. So that's looking pretty good and pretty tasty right now. And this is gonna be ready for the oven. I'm gonna just drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil now, just to keep things lubricated, right? And I'm gonna season the crust up a little bit. Brush it with some olive oil. And this is gonna help it get golden brown on the outside. Gonna help with that, right? And hit the crust with a little bit of salt. All right. We got plenty of salt content in the prosciutto and in the cheese. I just want the crust to get a little bit of liveliness to it. And we hit the crust with the all-purpose Italian seasoning. Right? This is oregano and basil. A little rosemary in there, just to make it pretty and give you another little depth of flavor on the crust. A lot of people don't like pizza crust. I mean, who can blame them? Because it's pretty plain as compared to the rest of the pizza. When you're done eating that flavorful cheese and all of that, oregano goodness, and then you just come to this plain dough, you know, that thing loses out. So, last but not least, a little bit of garlic. Just a dash around the edge to keep our crust delicioso. Okay, so this is ready for the oven. The oven is at 550, and this is not a pizza oven, and those go up to like, those go up to about 800-900 degrees sometimes, and that's why your pizza's ready like lickety split, and it's hot, and it's, get away from me! Why you always gotta be trying to be a guest star? You don't cook, you just eat. I love you. Your puppy. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, so the pizza oven, real pizza oven gets up to be about 750 degrees. Some of them are hotter than that. You got the wood fire, the coal fired ovens in the commercial kitchens, and that's how they get to whip you out a pizza every 10 minutes, you know? But, you know, we at home, 550 is good, and it's gonna probably take about 7 to 10 minutes. I'm just gonna keep watching it so that it doesn't burn. Our cheese is gonna get all melty. Our crust is gonna get all crusty. Our prosciutto is gonna get all nice and caramelized in there. And we still got our garlic roasting, and that's gonna be the pièce de résistance. When we finish that, we're gonna just sprinkle some of that roasted garlic for that sweet, different flavor. And then we're gonna be eating. Go time, it's been about maybe 8-9 minutes or so. And here is, oh, pizza perfection right now. Look at it, it's all bubbly and delicious. The crust got all golden. Like a prize-winning pizza right there. That's lovely. The last step on this is some fresh arugula. And the bite of this arugula is gonna go very well with the cheese and the meat and everything like that. And you get a nice fresh bite to counteract the sautéed arugula. So you have your arugula in 2 ways, and then while your arugula sits on top of the pizza, it's gonna wilt a little bit for you. It's gonna match with that, and you're gonna get the crunch and the different texture of the leaf and the green. It's gonna be great. I almost forgot. I did the pièce de résistance and everything. I almost forgot. The real pièce de résistance is our roasted garlic. Now, it's been in here for the whole time we've been doing everything else. And you can see some of the garlic is a little bit toasty. It's softened. And I'm just gonna, you see how it crushes into this kind of paste? And this is telling me that this garlic now has changed in form a bit. And it's been roasting for about maybe half an hour to 40 minutes. And when you do that, like I said, it's gonna get sweet and taste totally different than just a regular sautéed or sliced garlic, or definitely different than the raw garlic. All right, so I got the garlic all down to a nice paste. And what I'm gonna do is just, like we did before with the ricotta and with the arugula, is just dot and accent the pizza in different little areas. Every now and then you get a different bite of a different flavor. Well, they say the proof is in the pudding, but this time the proof is in the pizza. You just get a piece out here, lay some crust. Check that out. Hot and ready. I think I did good. The nice saltiness of the prosciutto, sharpness of the Parmesan cheese. I'm a mess. the bite of the arugula. Taste the olive oil, the garlic. It's a lot of light work went into this pizza, but you know, it's easy. Something that you can do during the week. Any array of toppings, and have fun with it.